Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here, and today my adventures have brought me to Pawleys Island, South Carolina, another really cool coastal town that I've never been to before. But today we're here and we're going to kind of tour around town and learn a little bit about their ghostly urban legends, if you will. Should be a lot of fun. Two of them you may or may not have heard about if you're familiar with this area. We're going to learn a little bit about the Gray Man ghost, who sometimes has been known to warn like people in the area when hurricanes are coming to leave your house. I will take care of it, which I think is a pretty cool thing. And then also there's a woman buried not too far from here, right across the causeway, is a little story about Alice Flagg, probably one of the more heartbreaking stories I've ever heard before. But we're going to learn a little bit about that and visit her grave site and learn why is her name Alice on there but not her last name Flagg on the gravestone. We're going to figure all that out today together. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's begin and get started. So right here in front of me is the causeway. This is the road I actually drove in the town, and right here on the left as you turn into Pawleys Island, right here is the town hall. Pawleys Island, South Carolina's town hall. Really cool. They refer to this as the shack, by the way, so that's pretty neat. Really beautiful area over here. And then right over here across the street, we're going to go over there next. This is actually the police station. All right, now I've made my way across the street to the town of Pawleys Island Town Hall and Police Department. Very nice building. And check out these birdhouses they have right here. It's like a church. This and here's just like a regular home with a front porch. And there, I guess different types of birds can nest in each one. I guess that's what that is. I really am not sure, but it's kind of what it looks like. Oh, this is pretty cool. It says Pawleys Rocks. Take one, leave one. Spread some kindness. This is pretty neat right here. Got some painted bricks. Then right up here, I guess, is like the little garden area for the rocks that you can take and paint. Some really nice ones up here. I like this snowman. That is pretty cool. And oh, check that one out. That's pretty cool too, right there. Got like a dolphin on there, like Flipper or something. And wow, that's like a shark. That's a cool looking turtle. Of course, we got a cute little frog right here. Different styles. Right there's a Christmas tree, because it is that time of year. Island Sign Company. Pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Alright, so we got to see where the town hall is and the police department. Got to see that cool little rock garden. That was pretty neat. Now we're going to get into the meat of the video, and that means we're going to go to the south a little ways, and we're looking for a structure down there called the Pelican Inn. A lot of history with that place. It's really an old structure here on the island, and we're going to dig into this Gray Man ghost story and learn a little bit about it, hopefully. So let's go ahead and head that way. All right, my friends, I have made it out here on the ocean front here at Pawleys Island. Very nice day out. Thought I would come out here. I didn't think I could really do a real Gray Man video without stepping foot out here on the beach, because this is supposedly where people have seen the Gray Man, on this stretch of beach right here. This is where he comes right before a big hurricane or a storm to warn property owners to leave. I will take care of your house. And supposedly that's happened on several occasions over the last couple hundred years. The Gray Man. There are three different versions of the Gray Man, or three different stories. Some people says he has no legs and he just kind of floats. You know, he's translucent. Other people says he looks kind of like a pirate. And then the other one is like he looks like a Civil War soldier that's long been deceased. So the first story that we're going to get into is the Gray Man had a fiance that was here in Pawleys Island. He's traveling from Charleston, South Carolina up here to spend time with her. He actually goes through the marsh area right here off the back side of the beach over here on like the intercoastal waterway area. He ends up getting caught up in some quicksand and he drowns. Very horrible story. I don't like that one. The other story, the third or the second story, is the pirate one. Some people says this might be Blackbeard. Blackbeard used to, you know, pillage, you know, and rob people here on the Carolina coastline, that in South Carolina and North Carolina. That's also an option. And then the third one, which is probably my favorite, it's got something to do with the Pelican Inn. It's also known as the Weston House. Weston was the owner of the house at one time. He was a Confederate soldier, and some people says that he does look like a Confederate soldier, and I kind of like that story. I'm kind of leaning toward there. I think Weston actually died from like malaria or some kind of disease, and so that's the story I like the best. I'm gonna stick with that one. We are gonna go down and check out the Pelican Inn here shortly, and there's actually another dog ghost story that goes along with that, and we're going to get into that when we get there. But there's actually 2 spirit dogs that runs around on the beach out in front of the Weston House, or the Pelican Inn house. So I think that would be pretty interesting to see some dogs out there running around, and then all of a sudden they're gone and the only thing that's left is their footprints. What is this? Yeah, that's definitely my wife's handwriting. All right, off to the Pelican House now, or the Pelican Inn. All right, I have made my way down here to none other than the historic Pelican Inn here on Pawleys Island. And there's the signage. Good old 506. This place is pretty big too. I mean, this thing's been around for a lot of years. Just think about it. All the storms. And I would imagine at one time there was a sign right there that probably hung down at read Pelican Inn maybe. But when you think about, this place has been around since the mid 1800s. Been a lot of big storms, hurricanes, ravage this coastline. I mean, just go back to 1954, Hurricane Hazel, which hit up around Carolina Beach. You know, I mean, that was a Category 4 storm. And Hurricane Hugo was you know, come ashore just south of here in Charleston. Very bad storm. Maybe I think it was a Category 5 storm. So, and this place has made it through all those and still really pretty good shape. So this here was Old Man Weston's house. This here was Plowden Weston, which they have a marker right here, a little history marker. Plowden Weston, he was a lieutenant governor. Actually, he died at a really young age. He was in his mid 40s when he passed away from tuberculosis. So back in those days, you know, you had to worry about malaria and all kinds of things. But I think this is the real one. I think if you can withstand all those hurricanes through all these years, and all you need is a little touch up of paint, it's a pretty good idea that Old Man Weston, in my opinion, is the real gray man. But another little cool tidbit or ghost story to go along with this amazing structure is the dogs. All right, friends, so before we leave the Pelican Inn, I still have one more little ghost story to share with you, and it's actually about 2 ghost Boston Terrier dogs. Yes, I said it. 2 ghost Boston Terrier dogs. It is a really cool story. There was a caretaker here taking care of the property, and she had 2 Boston Terrier dogs. She would actually take them out to the beach, let them run around and play, and then one day they was out there playing, and there was a kid that swam out too far and was struggling to get back in shore. One of the Boston Terrier dogs actually entered the water and swam out to give the kid aid or check on him, and then the kid finally makes it in. The Boston Terrier finally makes it in, but the sad thing is that the Boston Terrier ends up dying. I guess it drank too much of the salt water, shut your system down, and you will end up dying if you drink too much salt water. So that's really kind of a sad story. And then shortly thereafter, because the other Boston Terrier never entered the water, or at least the story that I seen, it never entered the water, it died from a broken heart because its best friend died. And so the myth or the ghost story behind all this, there's people that have claimed who stay here at the Pelican Inn to this very day, say at night sometimes they, or in the evening hours, they will see and hear dogs barking out on the beach with nothing to be there. Or they will see these ghostly apparition dogs like running around chasing and playing, and then by the time they get down to the beach, they're gone. But their footprints are left behind. Whoa, that is so cool. So that's a pretty awesome little story I wanted to share with you before I leave here. I know it might not be as cool as the Gray Man or anything, but when I read that, I said I gotta share that with my peeps here on YouTube, man. So that's really cool. So now that we've kind of wrapped everything up here at the Pelican Inn, really cool to see. What an awesome looking building. Now we're going to head off Pawleys Island over to a church, and we're going to go to a grave or a cemetery site and check out the grave of Alice Flagg and learn a little bit about her heartbreaking story and what kind of haunting tales that goes along with it. Let's get rolling. All right, I have made my way to All Saints Church. Very impressive looking church. I mean, this place is awesome. But now we're going to head into this graveyard right here. Go to this open gate. Has some signage on it from 8 a.m. till dark. You are allowed on the grounds. And let the grave hunting begin, because yours truly, I've never been here before, so I don't know where her grave is located, but we're going to go find it right now. I cannot tell you how beautiful this cemetery is. Look at this tree with all the moss. That is gorgeous. It's so peaceful back here. All right, here we are. What a beautiful area. Well, there it is. That's Alice Flagg's gravesite. Right there where this stone pillar is laying. As you can see, somebody has left behind some beads, like some keepsake beads. Sometimes you can come out here and see rings, you know, strawed out all over the top of her gravestone. And this is her family plot area. And right here beside of her is her brother, Alice Flagg, MD. He was a medical doctor. He died in 1901. So he plays in this story. So Alice Flagg was part of a pretty wealthy family. You know, her brother, as you can see, was a doctor. He had money. And she actually falls in love with this lumberman who did not have a lot of money. And when her brother finds out about it, it really annoyed him. It was like, this man is beneath you. I don't want you to see him no more. So do not see him no more. You know, I mean, he made that very clear to her. And she secretly got engaged to the lumberman. She never stopped seeing him. She secretly got engaged. He sends her off to like a school somewhere, like a boarding school almost. And then she gets sick because she contracts malaria while she's there. So him being a doctor, he goes to her bedside and starts taking care of her. There's two different stories I've heard. One story I heard during the examination of her, when he's removing her clothes and checking her out and everything the way doctors do, he comes across a ribbon around her neck with, and there's a mosquito in December here, what the heck. and the ribbon had a ring on it, an engagement ring, and that infuriates him. He gets so annoyed with that, and he ends up ripping the ring off of her and throw it out the window into the marsh with disgust. And then at that time, he leaves his sister behind. He's not taking care of her no more because he feels betrayed, and he ends up just letting her sit there, and pretty much she eventually dies. She had nobody to take care of her. And that right there is the main story that I've always heard. But yet there is another story that he was taking care of her, and she passes away anyway. And at the time when they start getting her ready for burial, That's when he found the ring with the ribbon on the inside of one of her dresses, and then he got annoyed and he threw it out the window. And therefore, when he buried her here, just as you're seeing right now. And instead of the name Flagg making them family, he did not. Like on his it says Flagg, on hers it just says Alice. She was looked at as a disgrace of what she had done. So they just buried her here with this, you know, concrete slab and just put the name Alice on it, and that's it. And Alice, supposedly, the haunting part of this, the ghost story if you will, is people have seen her on Pawley's Island searching through the like the swamp areas. She wears like a white dress, and she's always got her hand on her chest, you know, wishing that she could find her ring, because that's where she wore it, around her neck, right? And she was just searching around, heartbroken, looking for her beloved ring from her fiance. So heartbreaking of a story, really is. And so people will come here at times, not today, unfortunately, for me being here, it wouldn't be here, but we do got some beads. Yeah, they're celebrating some Mardi Gras, that's for sure. But normally you can come here, friends, and you will see like these like rings, like just scattered over the top. People bringing rings to hopefully give Alice, you know, some rest. You know, you don't have to keep looking for your ring. We're going to bring you one for now. So that's kind of the lore, the legend, if you will, of the story. That being said, I'm all done. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and just tackling some urban legends of the area. I love making videos like this and coming myself. That's why I'm here. It's not like I'm rewriting a book on these stories. They've been told before on YouTube, on people's blogs and stuff. It's just I like experiencing things firsthand and documenting it. And then if you want to come along with me and see it and see my reaction to it, that's what this is all about. So I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate it, man. It means so much to me to have people to be able to watch a video and stick it through to the end because they want to. So, that being said, if you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing. If you like today's content, give it a good old thumbs up. That helps me out so much. Until next time, friends, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you in my next adventure. By the way, y'all stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. So long. So long, Alice. I hope you're reconnected with your fiance one of these days.